Good evening, B's and G's. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. You join me in a secret location. No, not really. It is my garage. So just thought I'd mix it up, do something a little bit different tonight. I was needing to come out for another beer anyway, and I just thought, sod it, I'll just do a very, very quick update from here. Yeah, it's just a pretty basic garage. I do 1 gallon batches, stove top, small scale, just in the kitchen, and do the fermenting in the boiler cupboard and the conditioning in the boiler. Certainly into secondary for dry hopping, and once it's in the bottle, condition it now for a week or so until the bottle's hardened. Then they come out to the garage. So it's not really kitted out in terms of there's nothing really anything special in here. There's no fridges or brewing setups or anything like that. It's just very, very basic. But maybe in time when I get more experienced and I take the plunge, actually get a bit better at this. I might something I'd be interested in. I certainly see a lot of the kits that you guys have, and it's just look at some of the stuff just looks absolutely amazing. At the moment, it's like night and day in terms of you guys being way up there and me being way down here. So yeah, that's definitely out of my comfort zone at this point in time. But maybe in time. These are the batches that I've got at the moment. They're actually not all full of beer. The bottom two are just full of bottles, but certainly the top three are full of various beers that are conditioning. I've got sort of Black Ops IPA, Modern US Porter V2, V1, mixed fruit cider V1 and 2. What else have I got? I've got Son of a Belgian Beast, which I've still got to review. Kilt Flasher, which is probably ready to drink, I've still got to review. Peppercorn Rise V1 and 2, the Belgian Beast. I've got an oatmeal stout in there from the start of the year. What else have I got? IPA Hoppiness, Banoffee Weissenbach, Tumbleweed Brown, US Brown Ale, and an Undead IPA. So that's pretty much everything I've got at the moment. Might look as if I've got a lot of beers, but it's actually not really, just because I won't do 1 gallon batches. I'm pretty much only making, depending on the ABV, as little as 7 half-litre bottles. If it's some higher ABV, I put them in 330s. I can maybe squeeze 11 out of them or whatever. And then there's obviously the turbo ciders in there as well. So that's pretty much it, all brewing stuff. I've got my 3 bottles left. I've just done a beer review of Reece Smithy's Smashed Mosaic, which was excellent. So thank you very much for that. Cheers. And that's his 3 remaining bottles that I've just got just chilling, really, there. Literally chilling. Quick question, if any of you guys could answer. Should you store all hops in the freezer? Now, I have some hops here that are completely unopened. Up till now, the weather, certainly in Scotland, has been really, really cold. And I've just kept them in the garage. They're unopened, like I said. I do at some point plan to move them out of the garage when the weather does get a little bit hotter. Yes, in Scotland, we sometimes do get some hot weather. Not very frequent, I may add, but anyway. So what I'd like to ask is, can you keep unopened hops in the fridge? Is that good enough? I obviously store them in the freezer once they're opened, but can you just keep them in the fridge once unopened? Is that a good enough storage temperature? I'd quite like to know. If any of you guys know or have any comments, I'd really appreciate it. What else? Not really much else to see. That's just my bottles washing stand, a couple of wine racks, with unfortunately a lot of empty bottles, but I'm going to be placing another order quite soon for another wine kit. I'm quite partial to the Beaverdale wine kits at the moment. I've had the Rojo Tinto a couple of times. That's really nice, quite nice up my street. Not an amazing wine, but certainly equivalent to probably a £5, £6, £7 bottle of wine easily. It's really, really nice, easy drinking. So back in the house now. What's going on? So I took a couple of things out to the garage the other day, just keep my voice down because the wee one's in bed. I think it was one of the mixed berry ciders and something else that I took out that was conditioning. So I've still got a couple of batches, 3 batches actually conditioning. I've bottled my dry paddy stout, which had a wee taste of the sample from the when I was measuring the SG. Really promising actually. I've tried brewing a couple of stouts now, and yeah, not really. They weren't me. There was nothing wrong with the brewing per se, but just weren't quite me. And I just came across a recipe. I tweaked it. I'm just beginning to get to the point where I'm figuring out what I like, what certain malts contribute, etc. So I've kind of toned down the sort of the roasted element of the stout. Added a wee bit of black malt, added a wee bit of treacle. And I've actually got high hopes for that. And SG for that one actually turned out a bit higher than expected, so or lower than expected. So ended up 6%, but yeah, it's fine. What else have I got? I've got a bitter, Royal Oak bitter, which is going to be 5.5%, probably slightly. It's not an ESB per se, but it probably falls into that category. But nonetheless, looking forward to that one. And what else is still conditioning? Well, yeah, my US dark wheat. That's still in here. I bottled that on the 11th, so that's a wee cold. It's firming up. Not far off. Maybe give it another couple of days or so. See if the bottles harden up a little bit anymore. So what else has been going on? So I've got a pale ale that I've just put into secondary and dry hopped with Simcoe. As I've said in previous updates, I've never used Simcoe before, so really looking forward to that. That's that one there. Hopefully that can be made out. I've also got another batch of turbo cider on the go. I'm not sure whether I'm going to keep it as just apple cider or I think what I might do is I've got 2 versions of mixed berry cider. I'm probably going to review them, see if I need to tweak any of them or if I'm happy with either of those. If I'm happy with either of them, I'll probably just leave it as apple cider. If I'm not happy and I think I can make it better, I'll probably do that tweak that 3rd version and see what comes out of that one. And then finally, I've just recently brewed a batch in there. Hopefully that can be made out. It's classed as a specialty beer. Basically, I was in the I was cooking the other day, and I was in the cupboard, and as you do, you flick through your herbs and your spices and stuff, and I was just going, right, I'll use this in a curry, and then I looked at the bottle, and I was like, it went out of date in December 2015, and I thought, right, okay. So I went through a few other spices, chucked things out, blah blah blah. And I thought, well, hang on a minute, it's not going to. From what I understand, it basically just means that it's not as strong. It's not actually going off per se. It won't. You won't get ill by using it. It just necessarily won't have the same flavour or, as a fresh dried herb. So I thought, right, you know what, sod it. I'm going to see if I can stick it in a batch of beer. So I kind of just came up with a recipe, and I stuck in some cardamom halfway through the boil. So I have no idea how it's going to turn it. I kind of looked at the description on the bottle, and it said it was something along the lines of it was like citrusy. I can't remember actually what the description was, but it was something along those lines. And I kind of thought, well, like the way that flavors pilaf rice and stuff. And I thought that's really quite a nice smell, and obviously taste as well. So I thought, yeah, sod it. So I've just kind of made up a recipe. Per se, I think it seems quite balanced on the face of it. I just used US05. Did I? Yeah, US05. Oh no, actually, I used USO4 for that one. And like I said, I chucked in some cardamom halfway through the boil. So I have no idea how this one's going to turn out. Really experimental for me, quite adventurous for me. But yeah, I'll update you in due course how things go. So I think that's pretty much for all my homebrewing updates. So thanks for tuning in. If you can answer any of my questions, that would be fantastic. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. If you love it, please subscribe. And like I said, I welcome any comments. Cheers.